right, and with that, let's get to tonight's main event, the 2028 Democratic Party draft, which we're holding in 2024 because we can only look forward. we want to just skip past these next 4 years. So here's the rules. I put together this draft chart here. So we're going to have 4 rounds. We're going to be picking a president, a vice president, a speaker of the House, and a Senate majority leader, right? Those are the 4 people that we are picking from here. You can pick whoever the hell you want.
Love it.
And there's no actual judging criteria, except I'll probably say who has the best one at the end, and that'll be the winner, and it'll probably be me. We will do a snake draft. So Todd will go first because he is our guest, and then I will go because I put this chart together, and then TJ will go last because he didn't, and then TJ will go, and then I will go, then Todd will go. So that is how we are going to run this draft. We're going to start with the president. With the first overall pick in the draft, you can choose anyone you want to be president, Todd. Who's it going to be?
Andy Beshear.
Ooh, with Andy Beshear, Todd from Kentucky, taking the hometown hero. How do you spell his last name? Is this correct? B-A-S-S-H?
B-E-B-E-S-H-E-A-R.
S-H-E-A-R. There we go. I almost got it. Andy Beshear. Why are you picking Andy Beshear, Todd?
Because he's a winner, and that's what we need. He's won Kentucky twice in the Trump era, in a state where Trump has won the state 28, 26, and 30 points, respectively, in all 3 of the elections. And he is ranked the top Democrat governor in the United States on public opinion in a deep red state. So he's doing something right. And he's under age 50. So
I definitely, young guy. He's not a 5th-year senior, right? He's coming out, after year 3. I do worry about his strength of schedule, though, because while he has been very good at defeating those Kentucky Republicans, I don't know if that translates into the big leagues. But we'll have to see. I'm going to try and whip in so many of these NFL draft colloquialisms into this as I can. But go ahead, Tom. What were you saying?
Another strength of his is he's been an attorney general. He knows the law. And I have confidence he won't pick me, even though I'm an Army National Guard major, to be the Secretary of
Defense. TJ, is this showing for you guys? Are we screen sharing right now?
Oh, so I pulled it down once you put up the name there.
Yeah. That's totally fine. I came back to it. I was making sure. Yeah. So Andy Beshear for president. All right. That brings it to me, Counterpoint Politics. And I will pick as my choice for president of the United States in 2028, 1, Tim Walz. I think Tim Walz, I've said this before, he's my guy. He may not have the exact policies that I want. He might not be the most progressive candidate on the board, but gosh darn it, if I don't believe in that man, he makes me want to run through a brick wall. He's got that football coach in him, and it makes sense. When you hear him talk, he talks like the guy I want leading my country. He talks like someone who's willing to admit he's wrong, to learn and improve. And I think that against other more progressive candidates that we could possibly put out there, he's going to have way more national appeal while also generally doing the right thing. Is he going to give us everything we absolutely want? No. But I trust him to do the right thing, even more than some of the more progressive candidates. I think he has. I mean, we saw his favorables in the 2024 election. They were absolutely insane in the 60%. It was something like in the 80% approval. It was insane. I'd never seen anything like it. I think Tim Walz is the guy. I think he will be the guy if he wants to be. His communications is beyond anything else that we're seeing right now. He coined the weird thing. He's my guy. I think he would make a great leader of men. more than any of the other potential candidates, and that is why he is my choice.
I love it. Tim Walz has also proven to be a successful leader of men, both in the United States Army and on the football field. So, yeah, I think decent choice. Okay, so it's my turn. Fellas, I think that the nation has spoken loud and clear, and they have stated that we want our leaders to have 4 particular qualifications. That first off, we want a leader who is a degenerate celebrity. That's number 1. And second, we want a leader who is funny as hell. We want him old as fuck, and we want him hysterically delusional. So I took each of those categories and put them on my list. So first, for president, I put degenerate celebrity, and I am going with the Dark Prince, Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden is my choice for president of the United States. It is time for the Dark Prince to regain his father's throne, and think how much it will trigger the right wingers, which apparently spite-based politics is what everyone wants. Colby, you read my mind. I am riding with Biden 2028. Not the Biden you probably thought, but our son Hunter needs to rise from the ashes like the phoenix that he is and reclaim the throne. That is my pick for president 2028. Hunter Robinette Biden.
TJ, this is the Michael Penix pick of this draft. No one saw this coming. No one thought he would even get drafted, and yet here he is, the last pick of round 1. Total stunner. I wish we had him here to interview right now, but we don't. He's probably snorting coke off some hooker's tits right now. So,
hey, look.
And he's a felon.
He's a felon.
That's true.
Yes, we got to keep the streak going. Hunter Biden has great intangibles. He's white, so that means he's deceptively quick. So know he's going to be able to run around the defense. So yeah, Hunter Biden. I'm sticking strong with that.
He knows how to use his pharmaceuticals to give him an advantage out there on the field.
Yep.
He's a great lineage, coach's son.
Great lineage, yes, coach's son.
It seems like a guy who brings his lunch pail to work.
Yep,
good pedigree.
I love it.
I do love it. So TJ, that's your presidential pick. Absolute stunner. Who are you going with here in round 2 for your VP?
All right. So if you remember, the qualifications we had was degenerate celeb was the first one. The second one was funny as hell. And people, I think where we're going with this. It's got to be Bill Burr. Bill Burr is going to be my vice presidential pick for 2028. The job of the vice president is, primarily to try to deliver his home state, but honestly, to be the attack dog. This is actually where Walz was kind of pigeonholed and tossed to the side, unfortunately for the Democrats. I can't think of a better spokesman for the liberal movement or the left-wing movement to the extent that exists in the United States than Bill Burr. He would be, think Donald Trump, but good. That's how I would imagine Bill Burr. I think Jon Stewart would have been the example 10 years ago. But going forward, Bill Burr has enough. In fact, he's known as kind of a normal guy. No one sees Bill Burr as this ivory tower woke guy telling you how bad you are. No one has that vibe from Bill Burr. So when he tells you, hey, the problem isn't actually the folks you're focused on. The problem is actually the billionaire elites. And I know that the lefties that we are, they're going to find some problematic thing. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Don't do it, okay? Let Bill Burr be Bill Burr. He's going to be a great VP. My solid pick for vice president.
DJ, as much as the first round pick was a surprise, I'm now seeing the vision. I'm seeing the vision, just like the Michael Penix pick. Once you realize, everything that went into it, it makes a little bit more sense. Bill Burr, I absolutely love that as VP pick. No one said the VP has to be a competent person in any way, shape, or form. In fact, if you are going to pick a celebrity just for being a mouthpiece, want to put them in your administration, VP might be the absolute best choice. And I would love to see Bill Burr as a VP ticket. I don't think it would ever actually happen, but that would be the perfect way to utilize the vice presidential pick, because at the end of the day, data shows it gives a 0.5% bounce in their home state, and that's just about it. There's not actually much electoral benefit to your vice presidential pick, as some people might believe. So you might as well use them as a mouthpiece, might as well use them as an attack dog. One of the big reasons Kamala failed is because they muzzled Tim Walz way early on when they shouldn't have. But I absolutely love the Bill Burr pick. In my second round, I didn't think this person would still be on the board at this point. So I'm rushing to the podium to select one AOC as my vice president. A lot of people thought, that she'd be a first rounder here. I'm sure a lot of people going in this draft thought AOC would be a first rounder, but really the league just doesn't believe that she's quite ready yet. She's a little bit young. She only had, compared to all the other candidates, very young, basically a 19-year-old coming out here trying to play in the league. She needs a little more time to develop. She could learn under, Tim Walz and be the heir apparent after that. She would not only get time to learn and develop as a leader and a politician, but also be a olive branch to the progressive wing of the party, being like, hey, I know we're not picking one of your guys, but AOC gives that stamp of approval. She will bring that, the leftists that ruin it every year for the Democrats. No, they're going to go right along with her. So yeah, AOC 100%. I mean, my ticket's already crushing it. I already know I'm going to win this, even though, despite the fact that I'm the judge. Anyway, Todd, back to you. After your first overall pick of Andy Bashir, who are you going with? Are you going to balance out the moderation at the top of the ticket, or what is your strategy here?
So I'm going with Gretchen Whitmer, governor of Michigan, because we need Michigan. And, I think governors are where it's at as far as presidential candidates. We don't need people from Washington. I think that's another reason why Tim Walz is great. People who have led, been a chief executive before. Yeah, I don't know how much more I can really say about it.
Gretchen Whitmer, great stats with Gretchen Whitmer. Great job she did in the state. Minor mishap we had with Gretchen Whitmer as far as the optics go. What do you think about that one, Todd? Do you think it's going to damage her stock at all in this draft while showing up at the Trump White House and hiding her face?
She's got 3 years to clean it up, just the same as Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom's been tripping over his own pecker for the last couple of weeks. He's got some cleaning up to do to stay as strong, in the conversation too. I don't really know what to make of it. I mean, part of it is Donald Trump is the president, and if you're trying to get shit done, that's kind of somebody you got to. I don't know.
Yep.
For those of you who don't, if you guys haven't seen this picture yet, I got to put this up here. This is so funny. I laughed so hard when I saw this. Honestly, this Gretchen Whitmer, like, I agree with you.
Yeah.
This is Laramie Tunstall with the picture of him smoking the bong out of the face mask. Just like one of the most damning political pictures ever taken. It looks like something Selena Meyer would do in Veep. Like, even the haircut to the outfits and everything about this. If you showed me Julie Louis-Dreyfus behind these folders, I'd 100% believe it. Oh my God, one of the most cowardly things I've ever seen in my life. Just absolutely incredible. But Todd's going to pick her anyway. She thinks that she's falling a little bit right now. He thinks that her stock is down because of this image that came out right before the draft, and he thinks that's a mistake for other people to pass up on her. He thinks that she's going to pay off her production, in the great state of Wisconsin, and I do think it's not a bad pick. I personally, Todd, I don't know how it kind of seems like you're doing the same thing twice here. You went back to back in the same position of white moderate centrist. I don't know if that's going to pay off for you, but we're going to have to see how this plays out. What do you think, TJ?
I think Todd, I mean, is right, because look, we've spent years calling Trump a dumbass, and he is, but sometimes he does set up a good ambush, and that's exactly what he did with Whitmer. It's exactly what he did. He invited her over to talk over, like, receiving funds for the state for something. Can't remember what it was. It was the National Guard, I think. National Guard come up again. And then he says, oh yeah, come in and talk for the meeting. And then when she walks in, it's right as Trump is making these proclamations. He signed some really, really great ones. I don't know if you guys saw it this week, but she was kind of caught off guard by it. And it would have been better if she just kind of stood there. Then the picture wouldn't be nearly as bad. But, it was a split-second thing she wasn't expecting. I think Todd is right. I think 3 years from now, no one will remember this at all. If she's still, and you never know who's going to be a national figure and who isn't in these, like predicting who's going to run president 3.5 years from now, who knows? But if she decides to, there will be, and there have been, much more damaging scandals that happen. Strange, you mentioned, Todd, Gavin Newsom. Stock has fallen. I mean, he was never going to be picked by me, but I don't even hear other folks talking about Gavin Newsom. Honestly, I think that people,
that whole podcast thing, just man, talk about fumble. I mean,
yeah.
He definitely fumbled things there. But yeah, so we got Gretchen Whitmer. Todd, you are up again. You're Speaker of the House. Who's
AOC.
it gonna be? You can't pick AOC. She's already picked.
Oh no.
That's how drafts work. Todd's had his entire draft board changed. To be fair to Todd, guys, I didn't share the rules of this before you heard them. So Todd got the rules of this at the same moment you did. So Todd, we'll give you time to think while we discuss a little bit more here. But I'm very excited to see who TJ picks in round 3. I cannot wait. I will say, TJ, did you consider Bill Burr for president at all? Because I feel like, honestly, I might have flipped that.
Well, yeah, I guess I could. I thought Hunter Biden would be funnier as president than vice president. I think it'd be funnier. That's how I make my picks, folks. I don't really base it on. And this actually, I wrote this with, John, if you don't mind, since Todd has to repick his gift, his list. Repick his pick, which sounds odd, but I fucked it up. Should we move to speak to Senate Majority Leader and then kind of move on while Todd is waiting? Can we do
because you might, or I guess the Senate Majority. Todd, are you ready to make your pick for
yeah.
Todd's ready to make his pick.
I'm just going to keep Hakeem Jeffries in there.
Hakeem Jeffries, Speaker of the House. Todd, I'm sorry. I'm going to need you to justify that one.
Let's keep Hakeem Jeffries.
You can pick whoever you want. Don't get me wrong, but that might be. I'm not going to say more surprising than Hunter Biden as president, but
I mean, we got 3.5 years to clean up the messes that are current. Like these things are not going to be things 3 years from now. Also, in 3 years, in 3.5 years, the liberal left wing. I don't know what we would call the spoilers, the spoiler Democrats in 3.5 years are going to understand what's at stake. Their memory will be short. They'll remember it for 2028. By 2032, they'll be ready to give it back to Don Jr. But in 2028, it's everybody's going to realize if we even have an election in 2028. But I mean, yeah, it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine, John.
It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. Hey, Superman. I see the strat. You more than anyone else has a very clear strategy. The draft strategy is all the way there. So you didn't get AOC. You're sticking with what you know. I don't hate that pick at all. It's like you pick the guy who can plug and play as a starter on
the devil I know over the devil I don't
exactly.
know.
Not necessarily a high ceiling guy, but definitely a high floor guy. You know the bottom isn't going to fall out beneath you there. So definitely from a prestigious institution. Definitely strong strength of schedule. He's proven he can do the role. Let's see how he's able to do it at currently still the same level. This analogy didn't track through all the way to the end of that sentence, but that's all right because I am up on the board now. And let me tell you guys, I feel like Howie Roseman now. How does he keep getting away with this? My board, my fantasy board is exactly what fell to me, and I'm going with one Jasmine Crockett, absolute powerhouse of a Speaker of the House. And why do I say this? Not necessarily because I like her policy, which I do like her policy, but she's got the skill that's in the title, Speaker. She's going to be a Speaker of the House who tells Republicans to fuck off on the House floor. She might do it in the middle of the
say it like that.
She will say fuck. She told Elon Musk to go fuck off. I would absolutely love to have a Speaker of the House who tells people to fuck off. We've dropped the A-bomb. We've dropped the H-bomb. It's time we start dropping some F-bombs around here. And Jasmine Crockett, she's up for the task. So she is my pick for Speaker of the House.
TJ's going to pick somebody who's not even in the House. He's going to do the whole. He's going to do the whole. Make Elon Musk the Speaker of the House.
Listen. So, boy, it's a dark day, folks, because All right, so I wrote this list, to maximize the comedic effect, and I wrote it as president, vice president, Senate Majority Leader, then Speaker of the House. I didn't know John was going to go by precedence of rank. So this is my home run joke right here at the end, and it's going to be ruined, but it's unfortunate. I wish, God damn it.
That's why he wanted to go to Senate first.
That's exactly why.
Well, hey, do you want to pick? You're going to pick next for Senate, so you can pick your Senate first.
Okay, sure. All right. Because my Senate one isn't funny. Because Todd's right, the person is not in the Senate House. Todd is absolutely correct. I read my mind there. But for Senate, I was limited. I was limited to who is in the Senate. And so my list is, remember, degenerate celeb, funny as hell, and old as fuck. All right, old as fuck is up next. And I got to go with Bernie Sanders. I got to go with my man Bernie Sanders here. Bernie is older than Trump, but he seems to be in even better condition. He's older than Biden. He's in better condition. I have no doubt Bernie's still going to be around 4 years from now. I cannot think of a better person to put in the leadership position in the Senate. He's going to be a hell of a lot more effective than Chuck Schumer. So I'm standing with Bernie until he's 100 years old. I don't see a good reason why I shouldn't pick this guy since I need someone in the Senate.
100%, proven lineage. He gets the job done. Definitely, from a, let's call it maybe a MAC school. Not even in the Democratic Party, but he's going to be and honestly, TJ, that's who you just stole him from my board.
Okay.
That was my dream. I almost had the whole 4. I fortunately have a backup, but it is still your turn. You are now up to pick the Speaker of the House.
All right. So if you remember, I had the 4 things that Americans wanted. They wanted a degenerate celebrity. They wanted someone who was funny as hell and someone who was old as fuck. The only thing we're missing now is someone who's hysterically delusional as our Speaker of the House, which is why I am proud to nominate John Cooper of Counterpoint Politics as Speaker of the House. He is going to be, I can't think of a better person who's going to come in and clean house, folks. He's going to get everything we want done. He's second in line to the presidency, and he has my confidence as Speaker of the House of the United States of America. Do you accept the nomination, John?
I do. I want to specify here, John Cooper, not the Democratic strategist.
Yeah. John Cooper of Counterpoint Politics is who I want for Speaker of the House.
Strategist, the social media influencer. That is the John Cooper that we are talking about here for Speaker of the House. I absolutely love it. I would definitely accept the nomination here for Speaker of the House. I would make such an excellent Speaker of the House. I can't believe I didn't think of this. It honestly might be the most damning thing that I didn't put myself for Speaker of the House. So why should I be there? But no, you're totally right. That would be the best thing that we could possibly have for this country. Imagine me sitting there behind whoever, behind Hunter Biden during the State of the Union address. Absolutely love it. By the way, people comment on my shit especially like when I say something that is like critical of the left. They comment on my shit all the time saying, "Oh, you're that dumbass Obama strategist." No, I'm not. That's
wow.
So that's why, again, you wouldn't think that I would need to specify this, but these people really feel confident that I am that guy, and I am not. I am also not the NHL coach, John Cooper. Different John Cooper once again.
John has Googled his name many times. I want to see that image. I want to see President Hunter Biden, Vice President Bill Burr, Speaker of the House, John Cooper on stage, every single State of the Union address. Yeah, I'm all in on that. And I like picking John in this too, because even if he picks himself, he also loses because he loses on Speaker of the House. So that's why I picked him for the draft as well.
Got it. And, for my pick in the Senate, as I said, I was going to pick not Bill Burr. I was going to pick. I was going to pick Bernie Sanders. He was unceremoniously snatched right away from me 1 pick before, so I'm going to have to go with my backup plan. And I think if we're going to be a country, the United States of America, we do need to pay our respects to the people who came before us. We're talking about the Native American population. And they really do deserve more representation in the federal government. So as my Senate Majority Leader, I'm going with the most famous Native American on our country, one Elizabeth Warren.
Wow, that's good. That's good. That's hilarious. That's great.
And all jokes aside, that's actually who I would pick one of the more progressive Senate members. But no, definitely got to pick Pocahontas here.
Great minority representation for a traditionally white held role, right? Ever since the great Native American Jim Thorpe 100 years ago, we haven't seen such a strong candidate from this class. You love to see it, John. It's great progress. I appreciate it.
All right. So to round us out, Todd, to finish the 2028 Democratic draft, who are you selecting? Mr. Forgettable. What do they always call this guy?
Mr. Irrelevant.
Mr. Irrelevant. That's it. Who is your Mr. Irrelevant, Todd?
I would say anybody who can speak for 25 hours straight.
Okay.
Deserves to be drafted.
Wait, can we do that? Can we hold on? And I just thought about that. I mean, he might not be in the Senate at that time. So, can you do double duty? I wonder. Actually, I don't know the constitutionality of that. If you can be in the Senate and be Speaker of the House, I don't really know. It doesn't seem like you can.
Picked Speaker of the
shit!
House.
I'm sorry. That's right. I'm
doing my Senate majority leader.
Okay, cool. All right, I love it. Then. Yeah. I love it. That's right.
Yeah.
My mistake. My mistake.
So I want to be fair to you here. Are you saying Cory Booker, or are you just saying anybody who can speak for 25 hours straight?
No, Cory Booker is it. Not just whoever can blow smoke up somebody's ass for 20. I mean, I'm sure plenty of them could do that, but.
It is that concludes this 2028 Democratic draft. I absolutely loved this because you actually do see very clearly different draft strategies, which will play out online for the next 4 years. Do we go, straight down the middle? Only proven talents, not much high upside, but definitely the highest floor ticket over here with Superman Todd. Do we go for the high upside, going for more progressive candidates, the more progressive ticket with a little bit of hedge betting with Tim Walz as the moderate head of the ticket? Or do we go with the social media ticket, the one that's going to get the most buzz on Twitter with TJ's takes here of Hunter Biden, Bill Burr, John Cooper, and Bernie Sanders? Absolutely love it. Let us know what you guys think in the comments. And that is the 2028 Democratic draft.
I love it. John, I love that. I love yours as John Cooper. By the way, not this John Cooper. And I got to say, if my ticket is a success, and I know it will be, think of how great it'll be for the show if the Speaker of the House is the host on the show. Come on.
That'd be wonderful. That would be probably the best thing for the left wing. Other than just making me president. It would just make me president. If we're going to go all the way. Me and Bill Burr would be a devastating ticket. Thank you for making it to the end of the video. This time we're being for serious. If you made it to this point, you are our favorite subscriber. Oh, what's that? You don't actually subscribe? Well, go fuck yourself. Get out of here unless you want to subscribe, in which case you're our favorite subscriber again. If you want to know where to find our amazing guest, you should already know where to find him since he's been a wonderful contributor to the show many times. But Superman Todd, if people for some reason haven't heard of you, where can they find you?
Hey, I'm just on TikTok as Superman Todd 2. I post on there sometimes. I don't post a whole lot anymore, but feel free to go on and interact, comment, like, share, all the stuff. Cuss me out. Tell me it's awesome. Don't really care either way. So, yeah, Superman Todd 2 on TikTok.
Thank you so much, Todd. We really appreciate you joining us last minute, as you agreed to. Folks, I want to take a second to remind you that this episode is brought to you by Huge Ass Watches. Do you have someone in your life who provides an informative and entertaining product absolutely free of charge, but is occasionally a few seconds late? If so, then Huge Ass Watches might be right for you. Contact the Lord of the Watch, Huge Ass himself, to get a design personalized just for you. Don't procrastinate. Call now. Time waits for no man, and neither does Huge Ass. Thank you, folks. Catch you later.